3 times Om chanting. We are offering actually for the well-being of the all population of the world also. That is why we are saying that. There's one small prayer. Om Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. But everybody's well-being, we are praying that. ओम तत्सत अथा श्रीमद् भगवद गीता उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्री कृष्ण संवादे क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ विभाग योग त्रयोदश अध्यायः श्री भगवान उवाच इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय क्षेत्रम् इत्यभिधीयते एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारतः क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञो ज्ञानं यत् तत् ज्ञानं मतं मम तत् क्षेत्रं यच्च यादृक् च यद्विकारि यतच यत् सचयो यत् प्रभावच तत् समासेन मे शृणु ऋषिभिः बहुधा गीतं चन्द्रोऽपि विद्यै प्रदत्त ब्रह्मसूत्र पदे चैव हेतुमध्ये विनिश्चिताय महाभूतानि अहंकार बुद्धि अव्यक्तमेव च इंद्रियाणि दशैकं च पंचत इंद्रियगोचरा इच्छा द्वेष सुखं दुःखं संगाता चेतना धृतिः एतत् क्षेत्रं समासेन सविकारम् इदाकृतम् अमानित्वम् अदम्भित्वम् अहिंसा क्षान्ति आर्जवम् आचार्योपासनं शौचं स्थार्यम् आत्मविनिग्रहः इंद्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अहंकार एव च जन्म मृत्यु जराव्याधि दुःख दोषानुदर्शनम् असक्ति अनभिस्वंग पुत्रदार गृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम् इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मम च मयि च अनन्य योगेन भक्ति व्यभिचारिणी वियुक्त देश सेवितुम् अर्हति जनसंसदि अध्यात्म ज्ञान नित्यत्वं तत्व ज्ञानार्थ दर्शनम् एतत् ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यत् तदो अन्यथा ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वा अमृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न असत् न असत् उच्यते सर्वदा पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतो अक्षिशिरोमुखं सर्वतो श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वम् आवृत्य श्रुति सर्वेन्द्रिय गुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रिय विवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वपुरुषैव निर्गुणं वनभोक्तृ च बहिरन्तश्च भूतानाम् अचरं चरम् एव च सूक्ष्मत्वात् तथा विज्ञानं दूरस्थं च अन्तिके च तत् अविभक्तं च भूतेषु विभक्तं विभक्तस्थं बोधवर्षु तज्ञ ग्रसिष्ण प्रभविष्णु च ज्योतिषां तमसः परमुच्यते ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं ज्ञानगम्यं हृदि सर्वस्य विशदम् इति क्षेत्रं तदा ज्ञेयम् इति क्षेत्रं तदा ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं च उक्तं समासतः मद्भक्त एतद् विज्ञाय माध्वावोपपद्यते प्रकृतं पुरुषं चैव विद्धि अनादि उभावपि विकारांच गुणांच विद्धि प्रकृति संभवान् कार्यकरण कर्तृत्वे हेतु प्रकृति उच्यते पुरुष सुख दुःखानां भोक्तृत्वे हेतु उच्यते पुरुष प्रकृतिस्थः हि भुङ्क्ते प्रकृतिजान् गुणान् कारणं गुणसंज्ञा अस्य संसद्योनि जन्मसु उपद्रष्टा हनुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरः परमात्मा इति च अभियुक्त देहे अस्मिन् पुरुषः परः य एवं वेत्ति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्वदा वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूय अभिजायते ध्यानेन आत्मन् पश्यन्ति केचित् आत्मानम् आत्मना अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन च अपरे अन्ये तु एव वदानुत श्रुत्वान् एव उपासते ते अपि चाति तरन्ति एव मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायण एव संजायते किञ्चित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमं क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्बुद्धि भर्तर्षवः समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरं विनश्यत्सु अविनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति सः पश्यति समं पश्यन् हि सर्वत्र समवस्थितमीश्वरं न हिनस्ते आत्मना आत्मानं ततो याति पराङ्गतिं प्रकृत्याव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वशः यः पश्यति तदा आत्मानं अकर्तारं सः पश्यति यथा भूतपृथग्भावम् एकस्थमनुपश्यति तथा एव च विस्तारं ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तथा अनादित्वात् निर्गुणत्वात् परमात्मा अयम् अव्ययः शरीरस्थापि कौन्तेय न करोति न लिप्यते यदा सर्वगतं सौक्ष्म्यात् आकाशो न उपलभ्यते सर्वत्र अवस्थितो देहे तदा आत्मा न उपलभ्यते यदा प्रकाशति एकः कृष्णं लोकं इमं रविः क्षेत्रं क्षेत्रे तदा कृष्णं प्रकाशति भारतः क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञो एवं अंतरं ज्ञानचक्षुषा भूत प्रकृति मोक्षं च ये विदुयान्ति ते परम् ओम तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्म विद्यायां योगशास्त्रे कृष्णान् संवादे क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ विभागयो नाम त्रयोदश अध्यायः। Now we'll get into the like yesterday we covered it. What is Jnanam? We covered it, and Sant Jnaneshwar, out of kindness, is further explained to us what is Ajnanam also. So it is opposite of Jnanam. We must know that. Just now in this chapter 13 we mentioned Jnanam Jnayam. It is Kshetram Jnanam Jnayam Jnanagamyam Hruti Sarvasya Vishtam. Jnanam Jnayam Jnanagamyam. Jnanam Jnayam Jnanagamyam. All three are Hruti Sarvasya Vishtam. It is there in everybody's heart. In your heart, my heart, his heart, her heart. Everybody, in everybody's heart. These three things are there. Jnanam, Jnayam, Jnanagamyam. All three are there. Lord Krishna is telling that. So we have to believe that. In me also Jnanam is there, Jnayam is there, Jnanagamyam is also in my heart only. Nowhere else. So you have to purely rely on your own soul, your own self. So now in this part of we have to understand the part of understanding what is Jnanam. One aspect, firstly, once again I will go through what is Jnanam and what is Ajnanam. Then we will dwell on Indriyadeshu Vairagyam. Jnanam is again in one place. Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Arjavam, Acharyopasanam, Saucham, Stairyam, Atma Vinigraha, Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, Arhankara, Janmamrutu, Jaravyadi, Dukha Doshanudarshanam, Asakti, Anubhisvanga, Putradara, Guhadishu, Nityam, Samachittatvam, Ishta, Nishtomapatishu, Maicha, Ananya Yogena, Bhakti, Abhivicharini, Vivutta Desu Sevitvam, Arati Janasamsadi, Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam, Tattva Jnanardha Darshanam, Etat Jnanam is Proktam. Now, Ajnanam Yatadu Anidha. What is Ajnanam? Now, this Bhagavan Sri Sant Jnaneshwar Maharaj has explained to us. Manitvam. One is Amanitvam, Manitvam, Dambitvam, Himsa. Jnanam is Ahimsa. If I am Ahimsak, I am non-violent, I am in knowledge. I am violent, I am in violence, I am in ignorance. So Manitvam, Dambitvam, Himsa, Akshanti, Nirajyavam, Anacharya Upasanam or Acharya Anupasanam, Asaucham, Astairyam, Anatma Vinigraha, Indriyadeshu Nirvaryam, Indriyadeshu Asakti, Ahamkaram, Darshanam, Janmamrutu, Jaravyadi, Dukha Doshanu, Darshanam, Asakti, Anubhisvanga, Putradara, Gruhashu, Nityam, Samachittatva, Ishan, Slovatishu, Asakti, Anubhisvanga, Putradara, Gruhadishu, total Asakti, Mahicha, Ananyogena Bhakti, Vyabhicharini, Jnanam is Mahi Ananyogena Bhakti, Avyabhicharini. That is Jnanam. Bhakti Avyabhicharini. Bhakti Vyabhicharini. Vyabhicharini Bhakti is ignorance. To worship only Lord Krishna is Bhakti Avyabhicharini. And to worship all gods, 100 gods, demigods, 100 gods, 1000 gods is Bhakti Vyabhicharini. That is ignorance. This is ignorance. Worshipping 10 gods, 20 gods, 30 gods, ignorance. That's what God is saying. Mai Ananya Yogena Bhakti Avyabhicharini. Just worship me. That's what he is saying. That is Jnanam. And worshipping 100 gods, 1000 gods, 1 lakh gods, this god, that god, is ignorance. That is what it is. And Vivikta Desa Asaivitvam, that is not visiting any religious places to Tirtha Yatras, not going, that is again ignorance. Going to Tirtha Yatras is in knowledge. This is ignorance. And Arati Janasansadi is not interested in going to clubs and songs, programs and that. He is a Rati Janasansadi. To mingle with the crowds, he is interested. That is ignorance. Adhyatma Jnana, Anityatvam. There is no stability in Adhyatma Jnanam. And Tattva Jnana, the Adarshanam. So that is what. Not trying to understand what is there in the scriptures, what is there in Bhagavad Gita or Ramayana. That is ignorance. Whereas Adhyatma Jnana religion, Sattva Jnanartha Darshanam is Jnanam. That is what it said. Now we'll get into the aspect of Indriyadeshu Vairagyam. Then this point Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, I'll try to present it to you in a beautiful manner as far as possible. That is in the chapter 13, in the slokam 8, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, in the part of the Jnanam, Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, Anahankara Yavacha, Janma Mritu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam is Jnanam. Now, Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, if we ponder what it is like, it has got very deep meaning. And please listen to this. Before this, there is a background. Why Indriyadeshu Vairagyam we should have? What is the necessity for Indriyadeshu Vairagyam? Why and how it is going to become Jnanam? Why it is called knowledge? These are questions that arise in our mind. So Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, to get that, firstly we have to understand why Indriyadeshu, what is the problem with Indriyadeshu? Why we have to have the control on the senses? So we have to understand why, what problems they are facing. So Arjuna asks Krishna in chapter 3, Adakena prayukta ayam papam charati purushaha, anichanapi varshaya balativa niyojitya. A man is compelled, under what compulsion he is compelled to commit sins? He asks. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Kama Yesha, Krodha Yesha, Rajoguna Samudbhava, Mahashana, Mahapapma, Vidyanam Iha Vairinam, Dhumena Avrite Vahmi, Yada Adasho Malinacha, Yada Vulbena Auto Garbaha, Tena Idam Avrutam. Avrutam Jnanam Etena, Jnanina Nitya Vairina, Kama Rupena Kaunteya, Dushpurena Analinacha, Indriyani Manobuddhi, Asya Adhistanu Uchite, Ete Yugodiyeshaha, Jnanam Avurtya Dehinam. This knowledge which we have, this knowledge is covered by Kama Yesha, Krodha Yesha, Rajoguna Samadbhava. That Rajogunam, that arises in our heart, in our mind, that arises on its own. And then it is such a dangerous thing, Mahashana, Mahapapma. It is very sinful thing. It doesn't do anything else. Vidhyana iha vairinam. That is the only the enemy here. Enemy to whom? Enemy to Jivatma. Enemy to our own selves. It will impel us to do anything. That is what that is, and that is occupying Indriyani Manobuddhi. It is occupying the senses. This Rajogunam, Kamam, Krodham is occupying our senses and mind and intellect. That is why Indriyadeshu Vairagyam is said is a part of the Jnanam. That is why it is Jnanam. Indriyadeshu Vairagyam. Why? Because our Indriyas are being captured by, Indriyas and mind is captured by the lust, the anger, born of passion, mode of passion, Rajogunam, it is capturing. Then, by capturing the senses and mind and intellect, this Kama Isha Krodha Rajogunam, Vimohati Yeshaha, it dilutes our mind and senses. I see a friend as enemy, or enemy as a friend, it is deluding me. Son is friend to me, but I treat him as enemy and I quarrel with him. And it's a problem I won't create it myself. Recognize friend as enemy and enemy as a friend, it dilutes us. It covers our knowledge. That is why the Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, we have to be careful about the senses. Now, how it is happening further, he told in chapter 2, 61-62, Dhyayate Vishayan Punsaha, Sangateshu Pajayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha, Kamat Krodho Vijayate, Krodhat Bhavati Samoha, Samohat Bhavati, Samohat Smriti Vibramaha, Smriti Pranashat Buddhinasha, Buddhinashat Pranashyati. This is the moment we think of anything. Then what happens? Then we develop liking for it. That liking becomes an attachment. And from that liking and attachment, the kama is produced. Sangat sanjayate kama. That is how the kama is produced. Kama means desire, liking. Desire on anything. Maybe I want to buy, I already have got a flat. I want to buy one more flat. There is another desire. I have got one car already. I want to buy another better car. Then money, I have to collect money. See the tension. I am putting myself in tremendous tensions. And I got a one already flat, and another flat is nowadays 1.5 to 2 crore, not less than that. Buying, and by the time takes 3 crore rupees, I have to invest. Where do I get that money? But that kama desire has arisen in my mind. That will make me restless. So, jayate vishyan punsaha, sangat yesh ubadayate, sangat sanjayate kamaha, kamat krodho bhi jayate. Even if we don't have any, on your own you don't have any desire, some friend will come and suggest, yeah, better to buy a flat there, in that so-and-so colony, beautiful colony, just 2 crores. That's life. You will enjoy. The 2 crores you have to now run around to create 2 crores through bank loans and all that, and that EMI burden. And so Sangha Sanjayate Kama. With our company also, the Kamam is arising. So we should be in the always good people company, so that what happens, we don't develop unnecessary desires. That is what it is. Then another way of controlling desires is, if we are good people, and good people don't create much desires, so that is what. If you are some agitated people, and then they'll tell you, let's go to America, let's go to Paris, let's go to Italy for a touring, let us go to America, let us go to UK, this touring. That will again create a lot of issues. Desires are created. So that is what it is. So that's how the buddhi nasha, buddhi is lost, intellect is lost, and once our intellect is lost, we are finished. So this is what it is. So then this is the indriyardeshu vairagyam. So then the Lord is very merciful. Sri Krishna, Lord Krishna, God, merciful God, is telling us, don't worry, I will tell you how to get out of this, how you don't come under the clutches of the indriyas and desires, you don't destroy yourself. I will tell you the way. The way out is in chapter 2, 58 and in 68 slokas. These two slokas, he told clearly, Yada samharate cha ayam kurma anganiva indriyani indriyardhebhya tasya prajna pratishtha. Indriyani indriyardhebhya tasya prajna pratishtha. Then chapter 258. Chapter 268, Tasmat Mahabaho, Yasya Mahabaho, Nigruhitani Sarvashaha, Indriyani Indriyardhebhya Tasya Prajna Pratishtha. We have to control our senses from the sense objects. That is why, that's how we can have a stable mind. We have to have control over our senses. Now, if you understand, our senses are sound, form, beauty, touch, taste, and smell. These are senses. Shabdam, Rupam, Sparsham, Rasam, Gandham. Now, these are indriyas, indriyardhas. Then from the ears we hear sound. Sound is indriyardham. And from the eyes we see the Rupam. We'll see some good person, a beautiful person, a handsome person, or a rich person, or an old person. Like that we see the form through eyes. And skin we touch. Is a good soft touch, a hard touch, something. And tongue we taste things. And then nose we breathe, we smell, some scent, smell and all that. So indriyardhas. So we have to have that indriyardeshu vairagyam. We have to know all these. Then we have to understand its implications and consequences. Then we have to develop distaste for this distaste and dispassion for this indriyardhas. That is jnanam. If we don't do that, it is ignorance. That's all. He is not forcing us to do anything. Lord Krishna is not forcing us to do jabardasti mere baat. You understand this? What is good for you, do that. you don't understand, then you do it, then you're encouraged. Please understand what is good for you and then do it. What is not good for you, don't do it. That is what he says. We are this level. Now he says further way outs also. He gave a lot of way outs to us. Ragadvesha vijitaistu vishayan indriya charan atmavashe vidhe atma prasadam adhigachati prasade sarva dukkhanam hani asyopadayate prasanna chetasi yasu buddhi paryavatishrute indriyanahi charatam yad mano anuvidyate tadasya harati pragyam vayu navam evamasi. So first of all he says we have to behave without any ragadvesha vijitaistu. We should not have any kind of anger or a dislike for anybody or anything, just like that. Normal, we interact with them. That is peace of mind. And then with that, we get peace of mind, the other person also gets peace of mind. But if we already have ragadvesha in us, and then in that case it will create problems. So ragadvesha vijitaistu vishayan indriya charan atmavashe videya atma prasadam adhigachati. Prasadam means that people say prasad leke jao. Prasadam is the peace of mind. That peace of mind is the actual prasadam. With the prasade, sarva dukkhanam hani asubhya. If you have peace of mind in your heart, sarva dukkhanam, from all difficulties, prasade sarva dukkhanam hani asubhya. It will protect us from that. Prasanna chetasai. Prasanna chetasa means a man with a calm mind, calm appearance. Prasanna chetasa is a calm man, cool man, is a pleasant man, cheerful man, silent man. He is a calm, prasanna chetasa. He is a pleasant man. He doesn't have any agitation or any tension in him. Prasanna chetasa. To that man, he also buddhi paryavatishrute. Intellect resides in the God. So this is another way out. He said. Otherwise, he says, indriyanihi charatam yan mano adhividyate tasya arati pragyam vayu navam evampasi. Otherwise, if we move around in the senses, then the senses will take us out, our prajna will take our mind and intellect, and then like a boat on the sea or a river, like, which will be moved away with the wind, wherever the wind direction goes, it moves away just like that. Like that it will take us away. Tasmat yasya mahavaho nigruhitani sarvasaha indriyani indriyadhevi tasya prigyam. Sarvasaha, in all ways you control your indriyani indriyadhevi. So with our senses, we have to, this is what our learning is, we have to learn all this. Not that I am master or you are master, but we have to practice this. So then indriyasya indriyasyardhe ragadvesha vyavasthito tayo na vasham avishyeto tauhi asya paripandhino. So indriyasya indriyardhe ragadvesha vyavasthito. Indriyasya indriyardhe ragadvesha vyavasthito. With our indriyas and indriyardhas, ragadveshas are already there in that. Already like and dislike is there. If you see me, you may like me, you may not like me. Ragadvesham, that is already there. So we should not get into that. Tayo na vasham avichet. Don't surrender it to that like and dislikes. Tauhi asya paripandhina. That is, there only our enemies here. So that is what it is. So our pleasant interaction is with self-control is recommended here. Now, tasmatvam. Now another way out is mentioning in chapter 3. Tasmatvam indriyani ado niyamya bhartarshava papmanam pradhyana jnana vijnana. Tasmatvam indriyani ado niyamya. From the beginning, ado, adi, beginning. So you better control the senses. You better control your senses from the beginning. Tasmatvam indriyani ado niyamya bhartarshava papmanam pradhyana jnana vijnana nasham. So you kill this desire, lust, what is rajagunam, passion, you kill it. Indriyani paraniyahu, indriyeva paramanaha, manasatu paraputi, ye buddho parata. So in the body, comparatively in the order of superiority, better than the body is our senses. Better than our senses is the mind. Better than the mind is the intellect. Better than intellect is the soul, our own soul. So better you relieve you. Evam buddhe param buddhva samsthabhya atmanam atmana gahishatru mahabaho kamarupam durasalo. Knowing that your soul is superior to your mind and intellect, you control yourself with your intellect and your mind, and so that Jahi Shetru Mahabahu Kamarupam, you kill this enemy, you destroy this enemy of Kamarupam, which is very difficult to win. So this is the Indriyadeshu Vairagyam. Now, there's one more thing in English also I mentioned, written it here. I did a lot of study in the morning. That in English also, the complete indifference, Indriyadeshu Vairagya means indifference to the objects of senses. Indifference to the object of the senses. Then it is what it is, complete indifference to sense objects occupies his mind, the Jnani's mind. The tongue doesn't like vomited food, and there is no pleasure in embracing a corpse or a dead person. See, if a dead person, how he behaves is, if a person is dead, we can't go and embrace him. Who will embrace a dead person? So Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, it should be like that. I mean, as a person who doesn't like to embrace a dead person, we should develop dislike for our senses. That is what one example is saying. No one wants to take poison. If poison is there, who would like to take poison? Just to eat it just like that. Probably we don't take poison. We say, no, I don't want poison. Why we are saying that? We can eat it that also, but we know that if we eat poison, we will die. So Indriyadeshu Vairagya we should develop in that deep manner. And no one wants to enter into a burning house. Who will enter into the house is burning? Nobody wants to enter into that house. No, everything is fine, safe here. I will live here. Who will say to enter into a burning house? Nobody will enter into a burning house. So Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, we should develop like this. Sant Gyaneshwar Maharaj is further explained this. Or nobody wants to live in a tiger's den or a lion's den. You know, if there is a lion is living here under this tree, or a tiger living under this tree, who would like to go near and live there? We don't want to live there. We run away from that place. So Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, we should develop like that. That kind of a hobby or attitude. A person wouldn't use a serpent as a pillow. If the serpent is there, a snake is there, do we use it as a pillow and sleep? No. We'll say, no, thank you. It will bite us. So Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, we should develop like this. That is what they are saying. In the same way, O Arjuna, such a person avoids all contacts with the sense objects, and he doesn't allow his thoughts to stray in that direction. So why I am telling all this is, it is very difficult to practice this Indriyadeshu Vairagyam in this world, because the world is tempting. But then we must know what is Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, how it can be done. Once we know, we can achieve step by step. We can avoid unwanted things. There are a lot of temptations. We can control it. With self-control, it doesn't come. You know, the three modes of material nature is working on us. Sattva, Rajas, Tamo Gunas are working on us. And in that powerful mode, we can't immediately follow 100% Indriyadeshu Vairagyam. It is very easy said than done. It's not that I'm trying to preach something and show off something. It is very difficult. Some kind of unknown, unexpected temptations will come in our way. So we have to overcome them. That is what we have to practice. The more we do, the better it is. That is why we have to resort to other things as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. As of the completion of 18 chapters, we'll resort to some morning hour, 1 hour or something. We have to do some other sadhana also. So what happens is we put our some mind or intellect or senses into some sadhana. So that can also, through that also we try to achieve some Indriyadeshu Vairagyam, some sense control, some mind control, we can do that. And pranayamam is mind control and sense control. We have to follow all that. But we have to achieve this Indriyadeshu Vairagyam. Such a person has a great desire to practice self-control. He practices all manner of penance. He is strongly attracted to yoga. He cannot be in others' company. To him, the enjoyment of worldly pleasures is like lying on a bed of arrows. Like Vishnu Padamaha was lying on a bed of arrows. It was very painful. So, for a person who to the Indriyadesh Vairagyam we achieve is the enjoyment of worldly pleasures. He doesn't like to enjoy worldly pleasures. It is like lying on the bed of arrows. Worldly pleasures are like rolling in mud. Even mere idea of heaven also seems to be like the decaying of a flesh of a dog. This is dispassion. The good fortune of self-realization. Through this dispassion only, the soul becomes worthy of the bliss of union with God. Wisdom is found in such a person. That is why this is one of the aspects of Jnanam, indications of Jnanam, which we should try to practice it. Out of the 20 aspects, this is one of the aspects. We should try to practice this Indriyadeshu Vairagyam. And God, Krishna, should bless all of us to practice this Indriyadeshu Vairagyam so that we'll move towards God closer. Now it's over, sir. Now we'll get into chapter, the Jnayam part. In the Jnayam, before I enter into the Jnayam, God has Arjuna asks 2 questions to God as to how to know God, how to recognize God, how to realize God, how to know God, how to find God. He has no manifest form. God has no manifest form, no color, nor anyone see him. How can anyone say that he is existing? How can you say he has no manifest form, he has no color, nor can anyone see him? How can anyone say that he exists? If nobody sees me, nobody sees me, I have no form existing, then how can anybody say that I am existing? Second question is, if one says that he does not exist, then how did all the elements come into existence? Who has created all these elements? The 5 elements, great elements. Prithvi, Bhumi, Agni, Vayu, Jalam, Akasham. Who has created these? There must be somebody. They cannot come on their own. In whom do they have their being? Is there anything but him? So this is another point. So with this, is existing. So the Nasat, Rasat. So with these 2 questions, then we'll get into chapter 13. Jnayam part. Jnayam yatat pravakshami yajnatva amrutamashnuте anadimat param brahman asat nasat uchate. I shall declare that which has to be known, knowing which one attains immortality. Immortality, we get the immortality. One is a mortality, death, immortality, no death. That means they are not reborn. It is the beginningless supreme Brahman, which is said to be neither existent nor non-existence. Na sat, na asat, uchate. Sarvata panipadam, ta sarvata achi shiromukham, sarvata sruti malloke, sarvam avritate shruti. Having hands and feet everywhere, eyes, heads and faces everywhere, having ears everywhere, that stands enveloping everything in the world. In all times and places, he remains unchanged by time and space. His hand alone produces the activity of both the gross and subtle elements. So, that as the sun has no body or eyes, the sun god doesn't have eyes or any body in his hands and legs and all that. Yet illuminating everything. Similarly, he is in all and sees all. That is what the power of the God is, actually unimaginable, beyond our comprehension. Because he will protect us in time of danger, even if it is midnight. In the thick of darkness also, if we are in problems, if we are devotees to him, he said, my devotees, I will protect them always. That is what he does, the power. But otherwise he is not, doesn't appear in front of us to prove his point. सर्वेन्द्रिय गुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रिय विवर्जितम असक्तं सर्वकृचैव निर्गुण गुणभोक्तृ. Shining by the functions of the senses. Our senses. Now see, earlier we are discussing with senses control has to be there. But the plus point of the senses, that is why God has given us the senses. Why He has given us the senses? For this purpose. Now listen to the way in which God pervades everything by means of sight and the other senses. Shining by the functions of the senses, yet freed from all the senses. Unattached yet maintaining all, free from the qualities yet experiencing the qualities. You see, God is there in present. God is present in all of us. That we have discussed. In the hearts of all human beings, through our senses only. So shining by the functions of senses, free and yet freed from the senses, unattached yet maintaining all, free from the qualities yet experiencing the qualities. And outside and inside beings, bahir antacha bhutanam achram charam yevicha shukshmatvat tavigyam durastam cha andiketatat. Outside and inside beings, those that are moving and not moving, because of its subtlety, this is not comprehended. This is far away and also near. Durastam cha andiketatat is far also and near also. For those people who don't believe in Him, who say God is not there. So God is not there. Who says God is there? God is there. That is what it is. That simple difference. He is within and without, near and yet far. He is one without a second. And avibhaktam sa bhuteshu vibhaktam yavasa sthitam bhuta prachudam bhartruta tadgyam grishishnu prabhuvishnu cha, undivided yet remaining as if divided in all beings. This is to be known as the sustainer of beings, their devourer and creation. Jyotisham tajyoti tamasa param uchate jnanam jnayam jnanagamyam prati sarvasa vishrutam. Also, this is said to be the light of lights, that is beyond darkness. God is the light of the lights, that is beyond darkness. It is knowledge, the object of knowledge, and that which is to be attained through knowledge. It is seated in the hearts of all. Jyotisham tajyoti tamasa param uchate jnanam jnayam jnanagamyam prati sarvasa vishrutam. That is what. He is present in all people, all hearts. So that is the focus we have to do that. He is the intelligence in all minds. In your mind, your intelligence, my mind, my intelligence, sir's mind, madam's mind, everybody's mind. He is the intelligence in all minds and the life in everything that lives. He is our own very life that we are living now. It is through Him only we are living. We are reading now Bhagavad Gita, listening to Bhagavad Gita. It is through Him only we are doing. He is there with us. Those who are not doing, but they are not realizing that God is there in them also. We are utilizing the God's presence. That is the only difference. We are respecting Him, we are worshipping Him, we are surrendering to Him, to His divine grace, and others who don't like this, they are not recognizing it. But God is there in everybody's heart, in everybody's mind as intelligence, and life itself is the God only. Otherwise, if life is not there, we are called dead bodies. I am a living person. That life, living principle is the God itself. Iti kshetram tada jnanam jnayam cha uttam samasatah madbhakta yatad vijnaya madbhavopapadyate. Thus, he is now promising one thing, is that thus the field, knowledge and the object of knowledge. Field, kshetram, tada jnanam, knowledge, that we have seen. What is field, what is kshetram, what is knowledge, what is jnanam, we have seen that. Cha, uttam samasatah, madbhava, jnayam also we have seen. What is jnayam? Madbhakta yatad vijnaya, madbhakta, my devotee, who knows this? Madbhavopat. And my devotee, understanding this, enters into my state of being. we, his devotees, enter into his state of being. That is what is promised to us. He is giving us the bumper offer, a gift, whatever is the life gift to us, saying that I will give you the highest gift, blessing, that you will enter into my divine state of being. You tell me who will promise such a thing except Lord Krishna. So we'll stop it here and we'll continue tomorrow onwards. And we'll finish the chapter tomorrow. And 3 times we'll do Om chanting. सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु.
सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु.